Now, when you look at the sexual activity of the women today under the doctrine of the American society, it is debunked by a simple and scientific situation. Because, say, a woman would try to have multiple husbands. Now, these husbands would leave their DNA in this woman. They leave their uh, spiritual and physical print on these women. That's why uh, men would usually get virgins. See, virgins was a valuable thing in the ancient world because they understood that the bodily fluids was going into the woman. Now, the men, when they have relations with a woman, the women don't leave bodily fluids on this man. You know, you can catch disease from women and so, but that the most of the time it's a buildup of bacteria and or it's a virus, some sickness, but it don't go into your DNA and stay in you. But the women, when they have relations with this male and they finna have his child, the DNA go into their brain and start pretty much getting them ready to have this man's child. You see, and the DNA also go into the brain to motivate her to want to have relations more with him until she get pregnant. You see, this is what goes on with the women. So he can have a million women, and none of these women will give him his DNA, her DNA, their DNA. You see, they won't leave anything upon him. And people talk about attachment. The men are not um, emotionally attached to the women because the women are not leaving DNA on this man. Women is more end up being attached to the males because they're leaving their DNA on the woman. And so they think it's uh, due to the long-term relationships or due to what this man did for this lady. And it was really the one thing he did for her was put his DNA in her. So that's why the Lord pretty much made it where a man can have multiple wives, but a woman could not have multiple males dealing with her. And it said if a man left his wife, he couldn't go back to her if she was with somebody else. She had to start. Start over. But let me go into the scriptures and pull out some of these verses. Now, in the law, it talks about the law of jealousy. And this is the main problem, especially in the Black, Hispanics, and Native American societies and communities. This is where the problem comes in. You have fighting, killing, all kind of stuff go on. Now, for the males, it's a natural thing, but for the females, it's not a natural thing. Let's go into the law. Law of jealousy. Okay. jealousies. See what that pop up. There we go. Okay, so it's in chapter 5. So let's get 28. It says, if a woman be not defiled, but be clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed. So, okay, that's not going on what we're talking about. Let's start at 29. It says, this is the law of jealousies, when a wife goeth aside to another instead of her husband, and is defiled. So, she's defiled when she going to deal with another man, because this man is going, they didn't have condoms back then. So the man was going to defile her. Verse 30, it say, or when a spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous over his wife. See, this is who's supposed to be jealous, because another man can defile his woman, put his DNA in her, and she set the woman before the Lord, and shall set the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law. 31, then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity. But let's go up a little bit and get the whole context of this situation. Okay, here it is. It says in verse 12, starting with verse 12. It says, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, if any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him. Verse 13, and a man lie with her carnally, mean physically, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and he be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the matter. 14, and the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. See, that spirit of jealousy, he can sense maybe DNA. The DNA, her DNA is going to pretty much show that she been defiled. It says, or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous over his wife, and she be not defiled. Let's see here. It says, then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her the 10th part of the ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. It says, verse 16, and the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. Verse 17, and the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is from the floor of the tabernacle the priest shall take and put it into the water. Verse 18, and the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse. 19, and the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, if no man have lied with you, and if you have not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of your husband, be you free from this bitter water that caused the curse. See that uncleanness. clean is without any other sperm touching you. See, some other man dealing with you. It says, verse 21, and the priest shall charge the woman with the oath of cursing, and the priest shall say unto the woman, the Lord maketh you a curse and an oath among your people, when the Lord do make your thigh to rot and your belly to swell. 22, and this water that caused the curse shall go into thy belly, and to make your belly swell and your thigh to rot, and the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And 23, and the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. 24, and he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that caused the curse, and the water that caused the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. 25, then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before the Lord and offer it upon the altar. 26, and the priest shall take an handful of offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar, and afterwards shall cause the woman to drink the water. 27, and when he have made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled and have been done trespass against her husband, that the water that caused the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thigh shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people. But 28 it say, and if the woman be not defiled and be clean, meaning not having no sperm or no other man in her body still, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed. See, this is only to men being jealous. Women don't supposed to be jealous, because he not leaving, that woman ain't leaving nothing on that man. And that man don't have no deep attachment to that woman like a woman have to a man. See, this is not, men and women are not equal. They're not dealing with the same stuff. But this the main verse that I wanted. I always go to my 2 verses in the law that tells a man and tell these women, men can have more than one woman. It said if he take him another wife, if he take him another wife, see, that's in the law of God that was given from God to Moses, what God wrote with fire or a laser onto a stone and gave it to Moses. Okay. It says 15, if a man have 2 wives, see, men could have more than one woman. All right, let's put in wives. Oh, I gotta go back. Okay, I jumped the gun. Now we can do wives. Salakia, give me 1 second. Let's find this verse real quick. Here we go. 2 Chronicles 13:21. But Abuja, I'm thinking about the African place. But Abijah waxed mighty and married 14 wives. See, he did not have in the law that a man have to only be with one woman, and if he with another woman is committing some kind of breaking some kind of law, because in the law it was no law against it. This is what sin is all about, and let's get that, because I'm gonna start adding that to my key scriptures. 1 John 3 and 4. It says, whosoever committed sin transgress also the law, for sin is a transgression of the law. Sin is breaking the law of Moses. That's what sin is. It's not what the so-called government say is wrong, and then you doing wrong and you committing sin. No, it's what the laws of Moses that God gave him, and that's what's doing wrong. So you cannot be a man and cheat on a woman because you went and did what's lawful to God. Because we're supposed to obey God rather than men in this situation, especially when it comes to marriage and being with people, especially a man that's doing something that's natural as marriage and being with a woman and a wife. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Just want to bring that out. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.